This is the new 2024 Giant Defy Advanced 1 road bike, and in this episode I will give you the buyer's guide for this bike, and also I will make a comparison with the Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2 road bike. So, hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Inside. So as I was saying, this is the latest, greatest Giant Defy Advanced 1 road bike with a retail price of 4,000 US dollars, which is, in my opinion, one of those eye-watering prices. And I will explain when we dive into the specifications of this bike and when we also make a comparison with the Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2 road bike. Okay, so Giant Defy, who is this bike for? So you see, Giant Defy is, of course, an absolute legend when it comes to endurance road bikes. And this latest iteration, I believe it's the 5th iteration of Giant Defy, is, of course, even more advanced than all the previous generations. So the carbon fiber frame and the fork are even more lighter. They've made it even more compliant. And of course, as you can see, there are some hints of aerodynamically optimized carbon fiber frame and the fork. I would just mention here that if you are thinking about, endurance road bike, so a bit more relaxed geometry, you are spending long days in the saddle and you want to feel refreshed and relaxed, then definitely you need to consider this Giant Defy Advanced 1 road bike. When it comes to the paint scheme on this bike, as I see for the US market, there is only one paint scheme. It is this beautiful kind of polished silver with a hint of black, but then again, my opinion is that at 4,000 US dollars, this bike should at least have another paint scheme option in the US market. Of course, things might be a bit different for different markets, but as I say, as it is for US market, it is only one paint scheme. Okay, let's dive into the specifications and really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. As always, we start with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is the carbon fiber advanced grade level, and also the fork is the advanced grade carbon fiber fork. In this case, when it comes to Giant bikes, this advanced grade is the lowest carbon fiber grade that they do on their road bikes. Above that, you have the Advanced Pro, and then you have the Advanced SL carbon fiber frames and the forks. Giant also offers a lifetime warranty on their carbon fiber frames, which is absolutely excellent. And with this carbon fiber frame and the fork, technically I have no special complaints about it. Giant has a huge experience in making carbon fiber frames and forks, so definitely I'm expecting this to be, top quality carbon fiber frame and fork. When you look at the smaller pieces, like the handlebar and the stem, you will get the Giant Contact SL Diffuse handlebar and also the Giant Contact Aero stem. So both of these pieces are aluminum pieces in this case. They are separate pieces, nothing is proprietary here. So it's always easy to adjust your position on the bike, and if you are thinking of replacing any of these pieces in the future, it's going to be very easy to replace it. I will just mention here that when you look at the cable routing that they have done on the bike, I really like how for this iteration, the cables are basically running on the bottom of the handlebar and on the bottom of the stem, so nothing is, fully internally routed through the handlebar, through the stem. So this is very nice because if you need to replace any of these, for example, hydraulic or disc brake cables, it's very easy to do with your local mechanic because at least a part of them are running out, and then of course they are going internally through the front tube of the bike and then down tube of the bike. So this is a nice solution from Giant. At least they've made it a little bit easier to kind of service the bike when you need it. Okay, speaking about the seat post and the saddle on the bike, you will get the Giant's famous diffuse carbon fiber seat post. It's going to be excellent in soaking up the road bumps, and also the saddle is from Giant Approach. Giant does some very good saddles lately, but if you don't like this one, it's very easy to replace with the one that you really prefer. Now let's talk about the group set on this bike, because definitely this is one of the highlights and secret sauces of this bike. So shifters, front mech and the rear mech, you will get the Shimano's 105 Di2 electronic group set. So this is the latest Shimano 105 electronic group set, and this is the 12-speed electronic group set. Absolutely, no complaints here from me. This latest Shimano 105 12-speed electronic group set works perfectly. It is basically, everything that Shimano has learned from the Shimano Ultegra Di2, Shimano Dura-Ace Di2, and now they've just trickled it down to the Shimano 105 level. When it comes to the hydraulic disc brakes on the bike, you will get the Shimano's 105 level hydraulic disc brakes front and the back, and these are flat mount disc brakes with 160mm braking rotors front and the back, which is absolutely excellent, so no cutting corners here. The only thing I will mention here, Giant is using their own Giant MPH braking rotors. I don't know how these rotors compare with the classical Shimano, for example, 105 or Ultegra braking rotors. So this is a bit of, I would almost call it a cutting corners here, because I would expect Giant to include the Shimano's, 105 level braking rotors, or even the braking rotors from the Shimano's mountain bike world. I believe Shimano still has much more experience in doing the hydraulic braking systems than Giant does. Okay, speaking about the cassette and the chain. So the chain is the KMC X12L chain. It's perfectly fine chain. Doesn't matter that they are not using a Shimano 12-speed chain. In the future, you can use, any of these 12-speed compatible chains compatible with the Shimano group set. So KMC X12 is perfectly fine. Cassette, they've used the Shimano 105 12-speed cassette. Excellent job here. This is 1136 cassette, and it is paired with the Shimano 105 crankset, so no cutting corners here, and this crankset is 3450. So you see this huge range, which is even, greater than 1-to-1, so you have a 3450 chain rings and 1136 cassette. So absolutely, for long days in the saddle, this is perfect, and climbing any steep mountains, this is also going to be perfect. I forgot to mention when I was talking about the carbon fiber frame that it comes with the Shimano's press fit bottom bracket. Again, I'm not expecting any creaking noises here because Giant has a huge experience in a good quality control. When it comes to the wheel set on the bike, they are using a classical Giant PR2 aluminum wheel set front and the back, 12mm through axles. And this wheel set I would expect is with some kind of sealed cartridge bearing hubs, and the total weight is probably going to be closer to about 1,900 or 2,000 grams. So definitely, this is one of the places on this bike where they had to cut corners a little bit, and this is a good opportunity in the future to upgrade the wheel set if you really want to upgrade it. When it comes to the tires, this is Giant's own Gavia Fondo tires, tubeless tires. They are already set up tubeless, which is excellent. And these tires are 32C tires, measuring 33.5mm. So absolutely excellent stuff here, a lot of air volume and a really smooth bike ride. With this new Giant Defy, you will also get water bottle cages. As I said, the wheel set is tubeless prepared, and this frame and the fork are ready for any fender mounts and mounting fenders if you want, and the maximum tire size you can fit in is 38mm. Giant is not saying the total bike weight. There are some reports out there and some stories I've heard that these new Giant defined bikes are pretty light, and I would expect it in some kind of size medium large. We are probably speaking about 2-3 kilograms, and then when you add pedals on top of it, so easily I would say about 8.5 kilograms roughly speaking for this bike. So as I said, now we need to make a comparison with the Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2 road bike. So remember, this newest Giant Defy Advanced one retails at $4,000. Now, on the other hand, when we look at the Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2, it retails for $2,700. So there is this astonishing price difference of $1,300, and I'm really struggling to see why this newest Giant Defy bike is so expensive. Because when you look at this Canyon Endurace bike, so again, carbon fiber frame and the fork on the Canyon's CF level, which is again the third tier, the third level of carbon fiber frames that Canyon can do. It comes with a 6 years warranty, so yes, that's less than the lifetime warranty from Giant, but again, this Canyon CF carbon fiber frame and the fork are absolutely perfectly fine, and there's no problem with these carbon fiber frames and the forks. Also, Canyon comes with the same Shimano 105 Di2 electronic group set. So, shifters, front mech, rear mech, crankset, cassette. They are using a Shimano chain also, and it comes with the Shimano's hydraulic disc brakes, 105 hydraulic disc brakes, and these braking rotors, as I am seeing here, are the Shimano's braking rotors from the mountain bike world. So I'm guessing Shimano's MT800 braking rotors, 160 millimeters front and the back, and also some of the smaller pieces, aluminum handlebar, aluminum stem, carbon fiber seat post. I mean, excellent components, and almost the same thing as the Giant bike. The difference here also with Canyon is that they are using Fulcrum Racing 900 DB wheel set. Again, perfectly fine aluminum wheel set, about 1,950 grams, sealed cartridge bearing hubs. I mean, rim height of 22 millimeters. I mean, everything fine, no special complaints here. So I'm truly struggling why this Giant Defy Advanced 1 has retail price of $4,000, and on another hand, you can buy a Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2 at $2,700. So if, it's my money on the line, I would definitely go with this Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2, because I just don't see why would you pay $4,000 for this Giant Defy Advanced one. I'm truly struggling a bit this season with Giant Defy bikes, because especially this Giant Defy Advanced range, their lowest level range, they are becoming so expensive that I really don't understand why Giant. Giant used to be an excellent value for money, and I would understand if this bike is priced at around $3,000, I would say, okay, that's kind of, fair price, but at $4,000, it is just, crazy price for this bike. So definitely my advice is to go just straightforward to Canyon and buy this Canyon Endurace CF7 Di2 road bike. As I see, lots of sizes are already available, medium, large, extra large, so no problems with, shipping and delivery of this bike. So I think this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!